What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are still tipping on faux foes. Welcome to the Bay Area's Barbershop with DJ Pia and Alex Swan. So on today's show, ladies and gentlemen, we are snipping real quick about the 49ers win, and we're going to give a burst fade about this Bond slander at the very end and maybe line it up with some predictions. This is the Bay Area's Barbershop. Here we go. Mr. Alex Swan, how are you doing, sir?
Oh man, I'm fired up, dude. Second episode. Pat coming clean with the jackets. I didn't get to touch on your Niner jacket last time, but I'm definitely hitting the Dubs jacket today. But I'm glad to be back after that Niners dub, man.
Man, it's a Niners dub. The Dubs, speaking of Dubs, that's what I'm wearing is we playing today. Let's go. Let's get this W.
Yes,
It's a
sir.
big important game. But also, Neil, let's go ahead and let's put our first liner and put our first guideline on this 49ers win against the Green Bay Packers. So, Alex Swan, we predicted a high-scoring game last week. I did. I predicted 30-28. What we did beforehand, I know you went 27-24.
Yeah, I was up there, man.
The final score was 13-10. Now, I want to go touch on the first half. It was 7-0. Then you tie it up late in the fourth quarter, 10-10. You end up winning 13-10. So, Mr. Alex Swan, go ahead. You want to touch on the first half, sir?
All right. So let's break it down right off the top. So we had Packers get ball, opening possession. And let's just go through it together.
Okay.
Dude, when I was watching this first possession, Rodgers getting whatever he wanted, Adams, he was there.
Yeah, I stop with the boot board. Shut the hell up. We got it. Aaron Rodgers was killing the Niners defense. We got that. But go ahead, Mr. Swan.
Oh, and with no Ambry Thomas,
No.
Adams was finding his way on Deontay Johnson's side. And I just thought in the beginning, that looked bad. We had Aaron Jones rumbling. We had A.J. Dillon who punched it in for the tutty. And at the end, I was like, after that first drive, my first thought was like, all right, we got to answer with points. Like this, let's answer because right now, after how well our defense played, they got manhandled that first possession. And, going into Lambeau, and it was extremely cold. Everyone saw the degrees in the temp. Dude, Packers came out, punched him in the mouth. So that was my first initial thoughts of like, dude, Pack are ready. Like they're healthy. I know they didn't have Bakhtiari, but their health is there. They had a bye week and like they came out fresh. What'd you think when the Niners went down 7-0 early? I was like, oh man.
Man, first of all, man, when the opening drive, like you said, Aaron Rodgers getting whatever he wanted. Whatever Stephen A. Smith said about Aaron Rodgers, yeah, he was a bad man that first drive. Slants to Devontae Adams. A.J. Dillon looking like Corey Dillon in that first drive. I mean, it was whatever they wanted, whatever they could eat. And like you said, with Ambry Thomas gone, Dante Johnson needed to step up. He didn't in that first drive. And the offense was stagnant, man. It was stagnant. JimmyG was getting pass rush, like we said. Rashawn Gary, he ate up that offensive line. And, I'm surprised. Zadarius Smith came back that week, and he played a big impact on that first drive. The offense was stagnant. Running game wasn't looking too good either. I think JimmyG was getting flushed out the pocket a lot. So -2 yards in that first half. -2 yards. But to be down 7-0, I was happy. And I was pretty tipsy. I was watching the game at a wedding. So I will get to the second half later, but the whole entire wedding was watching the game. Just letting you know.
Oh, good, man. We had some Niner faithful.
We had Niner faithful travel to San Diego. Lorenzo Neal, who's now a host on 95.7 The Game from the San Diego Chargers. He's now repping the Bay. A lot of 49er faithful there, man. It was incredible. So, but second half, Niners were coming back and the defense stepping up, Swan.
Oh, man. The defense was stepping up. We saw the special teams end that first half with some momentum blocking the kick. You saw the emotions in
But now
Kyle.
they're cheering for him.
Yeah, there we go. Get the tears going.
Let's
Oh
go.
man, those boo birds out there. Is
Man.
that my fave? I'm just kidding.
Oh God, whatever happened in the 50-yard line 2 weeks ago, he could go suck it. But anyways, yo,
Hey, for the audience who's gonna tune in, we're gonna keep it raw up in here. We're letting it fly.
and they're cheering. They're cheering about that. Like, so whatever's going on, all I got, whoa. All right, take it easy, take it easy. No one got sodomized in the 50-yard line. But Aaron Rodgers did get his ass dropped down in the snow, like what they would say in high school. The Garish El Slurpee. Yeah, he got his Slurpee down in the snow in Lambeau. All right, crowd. Yeah, I get it. We can slow down. Here we go. Whoa, okay. You're so smart. Go ahead. You're
We'll keep it serious, man. I love this. But yeah, started the second half, man. After they had a little momentum, dude, Niners came out on that dog, and that's what we needed, man. We need them to come out, put together a drive, and they were doing that. Everything was working. I loved how they found Deebo on a screen when they had crossed into Packer territory. He picked up maybe like 17 on that play, but the big play there was Elijah Mitchell getting his finger or two caught up in the face mask of the Packer defender. Another 15-yard penalty pushed him back, and we saw what happened when Big Trent got that holding call. Jimmy's trying to go Houdini mode, throws a terrible pick. So I was thinking that is like, we can't turn the ball over here again. We have to at least get 3. They do get 3, and then they got the 3 and out on the following possession. And Pat, that's when I thought maybe we could start getting the offense and flip this momentum. But dude, like you said, the Packers defense, man, they rose up all night, man. But take me through as the third quarter, the defense just kept hanging in there. I just was waiting for the Packers just to deliver the dagger. It just felt like that, but they kept this hanging in. And then take us through when the Packers were driving and they were in the red zone. And if they scored a touchdown, it would have been 14-3, but they held them to 3. So it was 10-3. So what do you think during that sequence?
Let me just tell you, the Niners rush 4, and they're just getting all they can eat. They did it last week against Dallas. And let me tell you, Dallas, I think they were ranked 1 in offensive line play, and they got whatever they could eat on Dak Prescott. And now you do it against the bad man, who they say can eat whatever he wants, who say he can deliver whatever he wants. But the 49ers front 4 got whatever they could eat. And the linebackers staying in coverage. Greenlaw getting some stops. Fred Warner playing lights out. Ooh, I loved it. And let me tell you this, man. The defense with Ambry Thomas out, he was actually playing some good ball in the playoffs too. Dante Johnson, originally drafted 3rd round from the San Francisco 49ers with Mike Nolan. Can you imagine that? He comes back. He's old, spent some time in Seattle, then came back to us on and off of the practice squad. He stepped up against Aaron Rodgers. He stepped up, especially in the second half. But you're talking about that final drive. Nick Bosa delivers a hit to Aaron Rodgers, fumbles the football. When that football was out, I'm like, come on, Niners. That's Niners ball. And then they recovered, but we held them to 3. I'll take it. So ends up being 10-3. Jimmy Garoppolo, I didn't play too well in the second half either. And, I still give him credit. Bad shoulder, the thumb, but the special teams. Gordon Willis, just one hand in the air. Tayola Haufunga picking it up. And you see him in the video doing selfies like, who this? He did it. He did it. And the 49ers end up tying the game.
When that happened, my mind was blown because we went through leading up to that. We had that 4th and 1 and we got stuffed, man. Like Mitchell just got stuffed in the backfield. I understood what they were trying to do, but Big Trent is playing on one leg, that pulling him to try to be a fullback did not work. But anyway, then the Niners somehow get the ball back, or they were going to get the ball back, and you were thinking like, how in the world they're going to score, man? Like, we haven't been able to move
Yeah.
the ball much at all. Jimmy had a good like first quarter and into the second where we had some bad drops, and Kittle will say
Hey,
he never drops that ball, and so but then when Jimmy made the pick, it was like, oh man, like you said, here we go again with Jimmy. And then he just could barely put together just a couple throws. So we were like, how are they going to score? Jordan Willis, like you said, gets the paw, game tied. And then when they panned to the fans and we saw how nervous those fans got and how wide-eyed, just like in Dallas, I still thought, oh, this is going to be tough to stop Rodgers again because they're going to get the ball back. But I thought, dude, it's anybody's ball game now. And just like it felt like, late in the game of a game 7, and if we're going to go to the NBA playoffs, anything can happen. Teams pucker up, things get tight. And that's what happened, man.
Man, were you puckered? Were you puckered in the game?
Oh man, I was so puckered, and I was actually out of my element emotionally because I wanted this game so bad, and it just felt like the Niners didn't play nearly what they were capable of. Dropping passes, committing penalties in the red zone. The defensive was playing well. We just couldn't get anything going. But yeah, what were we going to say,
You
Pat?
say that though, okay? You say, yeah, dropping pass. You're playing in negative degree weather, man.
Yeah.
Kittle is sure-handed. That dude is cold, man. He's cold.
Man, it had a huge factor. Huge.
I think it had a huge, and same, I think it goes with Jimmy too. I mean, you're playing in bad weather, and you got a sprained shoulder and a bad thumb to come out with a win. I'm happy, man. That shows all defense over there. But
Dude,
I want to go
all defense.
I'm just gonna go final drive.
Excellent.
Garoppolo now. Remember, I'm at a wedding. I'm in San Diego.
Yeah. Paint the picture. Where were you?
So I'm sitting at a table. My wife is here on the left. Everyone is glued to their phone, and they say, okay, it's the mother-son dance. They say that. And then you got Robbie Gold lining up, and the crowd screaming this. I'm like, whoa! Everyone's cheering. And some people have bad service. Some of them got T-Mobile. Their phone is delayed. Some people on Verizon. We up here. I got AT&T. I'm up here. Everyone was screaming. And then the T-Mobile fans, 5 minutes later, go. I'm like, whoa. I'm like, man, it is crazy. And the people who were not 49er fans were thinking, are they really cheering for the mother-son dance? Let's go. People were But man, let me take you to that final drive. I know we know the Niners won. Robbie Gold. Me and Swan said cut his ass during the season. But man, we may have to eat our words. Let's just wait after this week. Let's wait after this week.
Yeah, I got to eat my words. I don't know how Robbie flipped the switch, but now he's money. He's money gold.
He is. But let's to the final drive, okay? We needed to score. This is the best Jimmy Garoppolo we've seen the entire game. The best Jimmy Garoppolo we've seen the entire game. A slant to Deebo, and then you're running the ball with Mitchell, Eli Mitch, and then you throw it again, get a little bit there to you give it again to Deebo, and then 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7. You need this I think we're at the 35. You need this first down. You give the ball to Deebo, your playmaker. It's a handoff, not a throw. Not a throw. The crowd gets like this at the wedding. At the wedding. He gets the first down. And then we're just getting some clock, running it to use check. Gold was gold. And then we get it. I mean, this is the Jimmy we want to see. It's inconsistent. It's highs and lows. But the good Jimmy came when we needed him to show up, and he did it. And I was going ecstatic, man. I was going.
Oh, man.
So let's see your thoughts. The final drive.
I love that, man. Because I was picturing, I was like, dude, Pat's got locked in on this game. He's probably trying to give great energy for the wedding too. But it sounded like multiple people were locked in. So I love that, man. Final drive once again, man. Kyle dialing it up beautifully, and Jimmy is now starting to find himself in like the most crunch time of the game, which is, you know what, if we need Jimmy to find himself, that's the time to do it. And he's been doing it. And so they went slant, boom, Kittle takes first play. They didn't run it conservatively. They knew they had a matchup, and Jimmy hit him, boom. So I was like, oh man, okay, because now then you're thinking maybe this field goal could actually happen. And then, like you said, a little Eli, a little Deebo. When they put Deebo in the backfield and Jimmy was able to identify the coverage, I don't know if that was second down, 2nd and 5 or something, but Deebo, he kind of comes out, and you didn't kind of know if he was going, if it was like a choice route to go out, but he kind of just like loops it in perfect speed, wasn't going ham, but just settles in right in that little window. Jimmy just beautiful touch, just little flick of the wrist. Deebo just, you saw his hands on display, just plucked it out of the air in the snow, like you were saying. And then I couldn't believe the 3rd down vision from Deebo, dude. This, like, the Packers had been stuffing the run
They
all
did.
night.
They
And
did.
for Deebo, like, there was a clip on Twitter that somebody paused the frame where Deebo started to make his cut, and you were just like, if you just looked at the frame, you were like, there's no way this dude's going to pick up 9 yards or 8 yards. And his vision picks up the first down. Then the Niners fans could believe, like, dude, we could actually win this. And the most emotional I've been almost maybe in the last couple years was I saw Deebo hobbling off on one leg. He's just giving it his all for his team. And I was like, this dude, if he is like pulling a piece of Mamba into himself and just willing the team to victory. And dude, as a Niner fan, we respect that effort so much. And it made me think I 1,000% am getting a Deebo jersey because
Oh,
just of what he embodies, man.
and he was all smiles at the game.
Yeah.
And big smile. I was
Just like you.
man, but man, I was happy, man. At the end, that 3rd and 7 was huge. Again, the first 3rd and 7, you get that, sets up an easier Robbie Gold field goal in the snow in Lambeau.
Perfect.
Robbie Gold didn't really scare. He scared me for Dallas, but for this one, I just knew. I mean, you played in Chicago in the snow. You played against Green Bay all your life.
Yeah.
This game last week it did, but man, he still came clutch, man. He still came clutch.
He's clutching up, man. Dude, I just keep going back to a couple of these like easy field goals that he missed in the regular season. I don't know what, as a kicker, there must be some kind of mechanics that go on, and you got to be fully healthy. But whatever Robbie has done to his body and his mindset to have him locked in, I mean, dude, he was banging them in Dallas, and he came up incredibly clutch again in Green Bay.
Man, you think he's eating donuts, smoking J's? Like, I don't know, man. What do you think he's doing?
No, I think Robbie's locked in. He's on those super greens and high protein.
People laughing. Oh, man, what do you think he's doing? Like, it's crazy. Man, the crowd made you laugh. I'm just wondering, what is he doing? I mean, San Francisco is known for good weed. Is he doing that? Is he eating donuts? What is he doing? Like the Krispy Kreme? Is he eating the fried chicken at Popeyes? Like, come on, Robbie. The garlic fries at a Giants game? Like, what are you doing, man? I know the Warriors game got good food, but he is preparing himself. He does not look like he's in good shape. So I'm just wondering what he's doing.
Oh, man. We got to ask Robbie, man. That would be awesome if we get a guest pod with Robbie.
Robbie Gold, I'll be down with it. And, you know, kickers and punters are the most down-to-earth people, so I'd be down.
Yeah.
Except for him. He actually got a little butthurt when they asked him, so, Robbie, you going back to Chicago? Why? And he goes, no, I never said I'm going back to Chicago. I'm staying here in San Francisco. What you getting mad for? Then sign your damn contract. Like, that's your fault. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah.
Like, so you going back to Chicago? No way, I'm sending back to San Francisco. Like, what are you getting mad for? Like, you bald-headed ass.
Easy, Robbie.
Yeah, come on, Rob. We still love you, though.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Niners win, Swan. Everyone's happy. The wedding's going crazy. Now, let me tell you what some analysts, I have some notes here.
Yeah,
Max
brother.
Kellerman and Dan Orlowski said, and this is in Max Kellerman's new show on ESPN. I love it. He
Yeah.
said, Jimmy G outplayed Aaron Rodgers. Both of them said that. Agree or disagree? Jimmy G outplayed Aaron Rodgers in that game. The stats don't show it all because Aaron Rodgers has better stats. He's 20 for 29. Jimmy G, a pick, only like 125 yards. Did Jimmy G outplay Aaron Rodgers?
I'll just have to start with I don't believe Jimmy G outplayed Aaron Rodgers. However, I heard man, that's interesting. So Kellerman, Orlowski, and Cowherd have all gone after Rodgers for his lack of aggressiveness because he didn't throw a touchdown pass. Now I can't remember the last time they put it up on TV when the last time he was held without a touchdown pass in the playoffs. It might have been like 2010 or 2015, something like that. And I do think that Rodgers, well, here's the thing. Rodgers, he didn't turn the ball over. I didn't feel like he made any poor decisions, except when they had the ball on their last possession. Alan Lazard was butt naked open over the middle, and he chucked it deep to Devontae, and Hufanga made one of the best safety plays I've seen, sprinting back to help Johnson with some coverage on that deep post, and they all three jump for it. It falls incomplete. And so at that moment, Rodgers decides to take a shot. So this is where I think Orlowski, Cowherd, and Kellerman this is where their point could win, because Aaron takes the shot. Jimmy understands exactly what they need to do, and he executed. Kittle, complete. Deebo, complete. Just clock management was great. Jimmy had everybody like where they're supposed to be as the general. And Jimmy was able to move him down. Now Deebo was the one who converted on 3rd and 7. That was huge. So without that, who knows what we're saying. But I mean, I'm looking at Jimmy's stats: 11 completions, 131 yards and a pick. If Jimmy didn't throw that egregious pick, I would have said Jimmy outplayed Aaron, because they did win. And the reason why I can't say Jimmy outplayed Aaron was because the Niners didn't score an offensive touchdown.
Hey, that's fair.
That's why. However, he executed better than Aaron in the last 5 minutes and won the game. And so there's the point to be made for that. What are your thoughts?
So my thoughts, man. Niners defense stepped up in the snow. Like we say in high school, there's this group in high school. They call themselves the bench mob, and they say this in class. Even doesn't matter if it's a substitute teacher or a teacher. They say, "Te quieres el slurpee, el slurp, el slurp." They say that all the time. and even the crowd is explaining, gosh. But anyways, man, they say that Aaron Rodgers, man, te quieres el slurpee. He got his slurpee, dude. Nick Bosa, Eric Armstead brought his ass to the ground, to the snow. He got his slurpee. So, but the same went with Jimmy G. Both were under pressure. Both got their slurpees. El slurp, el slurp. And man, all I got to say is this, man. Did he outplay Aaron Rodgers? Yes, in the final drive. In the final drive. Each quarterback had their chance. Listen, because both quarterbacks played like charcoal ass the entire game. The entire game. They played like charcoal ass.
I love when you do that.
Game. I mean, yeah, they did. They did. They played like charcoal ass. But when you needed them to convert, Aaron Rodgers did not do that. He did not do that. Bad man who could make any throw like Mahomes, he didn't do it. He didn't do it. I wonder why. You had Aaron Lazard butt naked, but you went to double coverage against Hufanga and Dante Johnson. But when the time came right, Jimmy Garoppolo, you're a Jimmy hater. I don't like Jimmy at times, My dad loves Jimmy, like I said before. My best man, Tyler Burse, he doesn't like Jimmy that much. But me and him actually talked. And both of us said, man, in Ty's words, he said, Jimmy G got grit. In my words, I
Guy.
said, Jimmy G got heart. And this team has heart. This entire Niners team has heart. And I think it's because of him. The guy has heart. You're playing with a busted thumb. You're playing with a sprained shoulder. You didn't have a good game at all. And you lead us to this drive in the snow with all these haters, all these Niners haters and media members asking them dumb questions throughout the year and saying, hey, it's good for TV. Trying just to get a smile on people's faces. He has heart, and he led us to victory. I give it
I
to him.
love it.
I give it to him. He did outplay him in the final drive.
Mm-hmm.
In the final drive, he did.
And he won the game.
He won the
And
game. So
I
I
would
give it
just say to Jimmy, that's way to have a short memory and just sticking with it, like you said, because he does have grit, man. Battling through those injuries and not giving up and just delivering under pressure. I tip my cap. And now I challenge Jimmy to try to take it up one more notch because it's going to be tough in LA.
this. It
His
is.
job's not finished yet.
It's not. And this is, and again, from ESPN, this is what Brandon Marshall said. This is what Jeff Saturday said. This is what Max Kellerman said. Jimmy G's a winner, and he is.
Yeah, that's his stats back it up.
Super Bowl, but he wins you games, man.
He does.
Does Deshaun Watson win you games? No, he gets massages. Does Dak Prescott win you games? No, he just goes on Hard Knocks and has a bromance with Ezekiel Elliott. Does Jared Goff win you games? I mean, he took him to the playoffs, but after that, not much. Does Matt Stafford win you games? No, not much. Until this year. Jimmy G wins you games, man. He wins you games. So, hey, man, I'm rolling with Jimmy. We got to do it. That's our boy. That's our boy right now. And also, can Trey Lance win you that game? Can he win you last week's game against Dallas? Can he win you the game 2 weeks ago against the LA Rams 17-0? No. That's just my opinion. I think this year we roll with Jimmy. And I've been saying that to you, man. And Swan, me and you, we're best friends. We talk about this every week. I think Jimmy's just our guy this year, man. And he's got heart. He's got grit. I'm a big boxing fan. There's boxers who are not skilled, but they have heart. My man Jimmy got some heart, man.
He does. He got some heart, man. And he seems to tap into that at the most perfect time, late in the game. Every time. That's something that Trey will have to learn. Because right now, Jimmy, he has led these game tying or game winning drives a good amount of times to where it's almost like he's got a belief in himself, no matter how poorly he's played, that he can step up and get it done. And you don't get that belief until you do it multiple times. And Jimmy's done it. So you're right. Trey could not do that. He's not built for that yet.
Yes.
I think Trey can make this offense explosive, but late in the games, Jimmy is the guy making it happen.
It's incredible.
I have to tip my cap. I have to tip my cap for sure.
We have, and like I get annoyed of Jimmy just like the next guy, but he's winning you games.
He's winning. That's all we can ask for as a fan.
So Stephen A. Smith, the man who loves Aaron Rodgers, who says he's a bad man, like I said, he said this is the worst loss of Aaron Rodgers' career.
Oh,
what do you think? Is this the worst loss of his career?
I agree with Stephen A.
Okay.
Because when I looked at the Green Bay roster and how healthy they were getting, I truly thought this was their year. I thought the way that they had the run game working with Jones and Dillon, I thought Aaron would honestly involve more weapons besides Devontae Adams and Aaron Jones in the pass game. I mean, they each had 9 catches, and that was it. Lazard had 1 other catch, and Mercedes Lewis did have a catch, but then he fumbled. But that was it. And I mean, I thought they were so well equipped with how well they're playing defensively, because that was kind of the knock And, you know, Aaron would throw a little shade, not a lot publicly, but you would hear grumblings within the organization of, man, if they could only get him a defense, if they could bolster their defense to you know, match the offense, they could get to the promised land, they could get over the top. Bro, that defense was on the same level, I think, as the Niners. They were balling. They had some dogs, bro. They were getting after Jimmy, stuffing our run. Like, we tried to go in and play bully ball, man. They were stuffing it, man. It was tough. And so for Aaron not to get it done at home, man, in Lambeau, that was no Dallas, man. There was some Niner fans, but there wasn't nearly as much in Dallas. And like you said, I don't even know how cold was it, 9 degrees freezing. They're used to that. The Niners were playing like they were way out of characteristic, dropping passes because it was so cold. And for Aaron, and dude, honestly, the Packers controlled that game. They just never put the nail in, and then they lost on a blocked punt and then a game-winning field goal. I have to say, I think with how the Packers team was shaping up, I thought this was their year to go to the bowl. I don't know if they were going to win it, but I thought this was a great year for them to, and for them to not have, or for them to have a huge letdown like that. I feel this is his worst loss, man. What do you say?
Let me tell you this. I'm going to break it down like this. Was this Aaron Rodgers' worst loss in his career? Absolutely. Yes. And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you, you come in here, coming into the season like a diva. Yeah, first of all, shut the hell up. Let me finish. Man, this guy is an anti-vaxxer. You get anti-vax, you get the coronavirus mid-season, and then you come into the season saying, hey, man, I need a new contract. My team doesn't listen to me. Yeah, boo that. Boo that. You're the diva. I get that. My team doesn't listen to me. I want to be the guy. They need to listen to me. They need to give me what I want. Give me Randall Cobb. They gave you Randall Cobb. Give me more weapons. They gave you more weapons. They gave you Dillon. They gave you Jones. Give me an offensive line. They gave you that offensive line. Okay. They gave
you defense.
Gave you everything you wanted. You lose this game? You lose it. Well, what's up, man? You lose this game at home in Lambeau? San Francisco? Yeah, it gets cold in San Francisco. It gets cold in the Bay. My boy Ty, he's from Orinda. He's from Walnut Creek. It gets about 26 degrees out there. Does it get 11? No. Yeah, it gets cold in Sac. That's where Eric Armstead's from. Does it snow in Sac? No. Aaron, win the game. You come in here saying you're the man. You want everyone to listen to you. They did. You come in here anti-vaxxing, chilling with Joe Rogan. Like I'm saying, hey, if you want anti-vax, that's fine. You could do your thing. Be like Kyrie and sit the hell out. That's fine. That's your choice. But you're the leader. You're the captain. Lead by example. They can't afford you to miss some games. But, man, is this the worst loss of his career? Yes. You didn't lead your team. Everything you wanted. You played against charcoal-ass Jimmy. You should have won. You should have won. That's why I say biggest loss of his career.
Agreed, brother. You hit it everything. On the nail. MVP caliber here, too. Couldn't get it done, man.
So, last analyst I do want to picture. I watched some Good Morning Football here and there. Especially after a big Niners win. Peter Schrags.
Oh, I love Schrags.
Me too. He's a Niner fan. And he said this. What makes Kyle Shanahan an offensive genius, he gets the balls to the playmakers. Against the Packers, what did Mr. LaFleur do? Remember, like I said, the student against the guru. The guru taught the student a lesson, taught the pupil a lesson. Give the ball to your playmakers. Mr. LaFleur did not give Devontae Adams the ball. Barely, only that first drive. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I'll say, against the Cowboys, they didn't give CD Lamb that much touches. Come on, McCarthy. One catch. Come on, McCarthy. Come on. But Schrager said it right. When they needed the ball, who'd they give it to? 3rd and 7. You give it to Deebo. Big smile and all. Yes, right. Big smile and all. We give it to Deebo. We give the ball to Kittle. We do whatever we can to win. We give it to our playmakers. Doesn't matter how, but you do it. And that's what makes Kyle Shanahan an offensive genius. You get the ball to your playmakers. You got to do
Man,
that. You agree with that?
100% agree. And what tipped the scale for me this season and this game was Shanahan. They were 3-5, and this dude completely adjusts and says, we are going into a physical, like you said, boxing ring, and are about to get after teams in the trenches. And they come out and they bang on the LA Rams. And that was an identity we had never seen. And then all of a sudden we get Deebo in the backfield. We haven't seen that. And he completely took his playmakers and was like, forget a little bit of a spread out offense. I'm getting them the ball however I can, and we're going to stick to our identity of running the rock. And they did that in the Packers. They never wavered. They never wavered in Dallas. No matter what, they stuck to who they were. And I agree, man, ride or die with your playmakers. Kyle, he is on a new level. He's tapped into some major humbleness as well, man. He's telling the players, I love you post game. Like, dude, this is a full family, full tip of the cap to Kyle. He is a level above LaFleur, even though I love LaFleur. I think he's also a good coach. But I mean, for Kyle to do that in Green Bay, to keep the fellas motivated, especially on the last drive when you needed it, he dialed it up. I mean, it was perfect, man. I can't get it out of my head that angle route from Deebo out of the backfield, man. That was a perfect way to get him the ball because they've been running it with him the whole time when he's back there, and they send him out for a little angle in the pass first down. Kyle, I agree with you. I agree with Shregs. He's an elite coach, man, and he is now entering some pretty special air. And I really think he deserves a ring, man. I hope he gets one because he puts in the work. I just love what I'm seeing from Kyle. So I really hope he gets one as a Niner.
You know, your whole spiel, Sean, it reminds me of Mike Singletary, former 49ers coach.
Oh,
I want to run physical with an F. And they did. They ran physical with an F. That's what they've been doing all year. But still, Shanahan, that's why we got mad at him beginning of the year, getting a little too cute. Because Jimmy can't be too cute. He needs to be physical with an F. And that's what they're doing. So, you know, I'm happy. But on to LA. We went to Green Bay. On to LA.
oh.
Mr. Swan. What do the 49ers need to do to go to the Super Bowl and get a hat trick against the Rams? No, this is not a Rams jacket. It's the Golden State Warriors. What do we have to do to go to the Super Bowl?
Well, first thing is first. I say this every game. I know it's hard to do. And we have to go 0 turnovers. I feel like we can't turn the ball over once. The Rams, I know they're beasts, and I know they just beat up on Brady and their O-line. Now, Bucs O-line was banged up, but we somehow established that physical edge over them. We have to keep tapping into that. We have to keep that up. Can't stray away from it, and we have to keep that mentality. I'm going to say we need to run the ball for over 150 yards because right now Stafford is cooking. Like he's locked in. So I'm saying that's another key. So that probably equates to about 35 rushes. Now, this isn't a key, but I feel like the health of Big Trent is going to be big because if you're going to beat the Rams 3 times and do it twice without Trent, that seems like a huge, tall task. But we'll see. Anyway, I'm just going to say offensive line has to play great. They gotta be physical, and I'm going to say Jimmy's going to have to throw for over 200 yards, and I think we're going to have to sack Stafford 5 times. I think we're going to have to go for 5 against Dak, 5 against Aaron, 5 against Stafford. And those are my keys. Robbie, keep playing well, and, you know, just start faster than what you did when you went into LA. And if you do, you could put LA in a frame of mindset of how in the heck do we beat these guys? Like they're probably going to be like, how did we beat these fools? And then you can get them out of their element.
Come on.
Yeah, yeah. But if you let them get up like they did last game, you know what they're going to think? They're going to come with a knife and they're going to say, we're not letting that happen again. So you got to start fast. Those are my keys. And if they do that, I think they can get to the bowl and try to go with this destiny journey. What do you say, Pat?
All I got to say is, I know we got to be one at a time. I think Kansas City's going to the Super Bowl. But I'm going to go one at a time here. I'm going to go one at a time, one game at a time. In order to win, it starts in the trenches.
Yeah.
Starts in the trenches. 49ers won against the last week of the season against the Rams without Trent Williams. So it shows it's doable. It's doable. We need Big Trent out there. But it's doable to win. We have to stop number 99, Aaron Donald, best defensive player in the league. We got to stop him. We've been doing pretty well, but we got to stop him. We got to run the ball, physical with an F. We got to do that, man. Battle in the trenches. We have to sack Matt Stafford 5 times, like you said. I just think put pressure on him like we did the first time we played him this season and the second time we played him this season. Pressure his bitch ass. We got to do that, man. Do whatever you can to get pressure on him and just see what happens. Because look, we can't stop Cooper Kupp, one of a kind. Can you stop OBJ? It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard, but we can stop Stafford, man. We gotta hurt him. We gotta pressure him because we saw how he is under pressure, not so well.
Yeah,
and we
muck
saw
it
how
up.
he was under pressure too against the Bucks late in the game. Not so good. If he gets under pressure, watch what happens. So we gotta do that and stop the run. Stop the run. Stop the run against the Rams, which we can, I think. Make Akers fumble again. So,
win the turnover battle. That would be big. Win that turnover battle.
And whoever our cornerbacks is, Thomas, Johnson, Emmanuel Mosley, hey, best of luck. But our safety's been playing well too, man. Jaquaski Tart, Jimmy Ward. But again, it starts in the trenches. That's where we got to win. That's my key to the game. Trenches. It's only one. Trenches.
Love it.
Last topic of the game, Swan. Or let's go one more. Final score? You got a final score here for the 49ers Rams?
Man, my friend asked me this yesterday, and I don't like it, but I picked Rams 27-20.
Yeah, man. You know what? The crowd is silent right now. Because I have to agree with you, man. I think the Rams. I want to argue more on this show.
I know,
but Stafford is on another level. You think they're really gonna get a hat trick? It's gonna be hard, dude.
That's the key, Pat. How do you beating a team?
Really gonna get a hat trick? Shut the hell up, man. First of all, man, I don't know, but my final prediction: 30-27 Rams. I'm sorry. That's just my prediction.
I hope we're wrong again.
Niner fans into the stadium. I'm sorry. So if they're Niner fans in the stadium, hell yeah, man. I think they win. Honestly, the crowd makes a big difference in the playoffs, dude.
It does, man. Dude, the Rams are scared. That's where a psychological advantage that the Niners have for their fan or their organization to manipulate the tickets that much. That shows something. And the Niners are going to play with a chip because Deebo even mentioned it. I'm like, oh man, yeah, they're going to. If the Niners start fast, they can win this game.
Hey, we have to win this game and make it to the ship. Hope they make us eat our words. But final segment here. Barry Bonds didn't make it to the Hall of Fame. Best baseball player of all time, I think. Best hitter of all time, at least. Did not make it to the Hall of Fame. Your thoughts?
I felt bad for Barry and sad because of what he's done for the game. You would hear interviews from coaches and pitchers when Barry was playing on how feared he was and how they would just strategize anything and everything to not let Barry beat him. walking him with the bases loaded will be a memory I'll always remember. I'm just like, man, when we were watching them, because we're both diehard Giants fans, whenever they were down or the game was tied and Barry was up, I always thought Barry could give us the lead or win the game if it was like a walk-off scenario. I always thought that because that's how good he was. Dude, his swing was so compact. People don't give Barry enough credit for how disciplined and how smart he was as a hitter. A lot of like Hall of Famers would say that about him. And I hate to even use the word Hall of Famers now because I don't even know what the criteria is for Barry. I mean, Barry was the GOAT, man.
Yeah.
And like when you don't have your own GOAT um, in the Hall of Fame and gonna show like when Barry passes away one day and we pass away and there'll be young kids like, and you're not going to have this dude in the Hall of Fame museum to show like this guy broke the home run record and was one of the greatest hitters all time, throwing some highlights up. I, I, it was sad, man. And in baseball, you can't have your sport have an era where there was steroids and there was cheatage going on. I mean, you had cheatage last year. You've had cheatage throughout the entire time of your sport, regardless if it's steroids or something else. And it's like, that's your own fault, but you can't be starting to nitpick on who gets in and who doesn't. And it wasn't even proven that Barry had tested positive. And I just, it's disheartening because we got to see Barry like pretty much his almost his entire career as a Giant that we can remember. He was phenomenal, man. And so it hurts even more. I can just imagine what it's like for him because he is truly the best hitter I have ever seen. And he you know he believes that too in his head. But yeah, I'll hand the floor back to you, my man.
Yeah, steroids is a big issue why Barry Bonds didn't get to the Hall of Fame. But here's the biggest issue: Barry Bonds is an asshole. Everyone knows it. I mean, honestly, this is bottom line. He's an asshole. If
Yeah.
he was nice to the media, I think they would vote him in. It's just bottom line, yo. Like the media in the Bay Area, yeah, I think all of them voted for Barry Bonds. But outside the Bay, he was an asshole. I think that's
And
just
that was documented.
and it was dog. I mean, he was a dick, and he was like that's the problem. That's just my opinion. I think if he was nicer, everyone would like you if you were a nice guy. When I was getting my master's at USF, I had a sports agency class with Cliff LeBoy, a brother of CJ LeBoy, former Arizona Cardinal and San Francisco 49er, University of Hawaii. He told me, look, man, he covers mostly football, but he did tell me a story about basketball. He did say, look, a lot of people love Stephen Curry because he's really nice to the media. Russell Westbrook, they don't give him the time of day because of it. I also had another sports class from one of the anchors from the Pac-12 network. Her name is Ashley Adamson Oakley. She's an anchor for the Pac-12 network. She used to be a reporter in Indianapolis. Everyone loved David West. If David West had a bad game for the Pacers, the media would ease up on him. The person they hated the most was Lance Stevenson. If he had a if he had a bad game, the media gave it to him. And you can see like that's the same thing with Barry Bonds, man. Just be a nice guy. If he was a nice guy to the media, I think he'd be in. Just my opinion. That's just my opinion. I could be wrong.
That's a
But
great call. Because just real quick, dude, you know how likable Big Papi is?
exactly. And I think he took steroids. I think he even
Yeah.
did take steroids.
I
That's
think
why
it was a positive test. And I love Big
me
Papi.
too. He's a nice guy. And
That's
he
a
was a
great
host on
call, Pat.
MTV. So he's a nice guy, personable. But my thing is, look, baseball needs to tell their story. They need to tell their story. It was hard for them to get fans in the early 90s, man. There was also a lockout in the early 90s because nothing was going on. Like it was boring to watch. Baseball is a slow game, yada, yada, yada. Some people don't like it now because it's so slow. People love basketball. They love football. I don't blame them. I'm kind of in that category. I like basketball and football more. You know,
Me
I
too.
still love my Giants, especially when they're good. I'm still a diehard.
Yeah.
I watch every game that I can, but it's a slow game. And what they did in the 90s, and early '80s, people were juicing, and the owners knew.
Yeah.
Damn straight, Bud Selig knew. Come on, Bud.
Yeah.
Like,
Come
yo,
on, bud.
come on, Bud. Like, owners were basically giving the players steroids to get their own money. Owners needed to sell tickets. They wanted the money. So you got the Bash brothers roiding up. Barry Bonds roided up. Clemens roided up. Eric Gagne, one of the best closers, roided up. Tell your story, man. Tell your story. Yeah, like you said, baseball ain't clean. You had cheaters winning the World Series, and you didn't take it away from them. Tell your story. Bottom line, Bonds needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Clemens needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Gagne does. Slammin' Sammy Sosa needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Tell your story, man.
Beautiful, man. You can't say it any better than that.
So before we chop up in the chop shop, the Bay Area's Barbershop, we just did the lineup real quick. Time to dust up our client, Mr. Swan. Any final words before we head out?
Man, I just want to be back here one more time, man, to talk about a possible Super Bowl appearance. I think right now, as we keep growing, we need to give a shout out to Pat, bringing the energy, bringing the promos, hosting this. He's doing a damn good job. He's making me laugh. This dude's talented. I'm honored to be on this podcast. I'm hoping we can keep this rolling, my man. Let's eat up.
Hey, look, all we want to do is eat. F Ezekiel Elliott. We want the Niners to make it to the Super Bowl, man. Can we get this win? Can the Dubs get a win today? Come on, man. Can Steph Curry get back on track? And will the Kings make the playoffs? Maybe we'll talk about that next show. We'll see. But on next show, we will go recap of what happened in LA. This is your barber, DJ P. Yob. That's your other barber, Alex Swan. We got our chairs. We spinning out. Peace easy, ladies and gentlemen.